going to talk about is the DNA for business. The DNA for business is going to be the 530 grid. To help us do that, Jason Miller, bring it on up. Come on, man. Now, Jason, how many times have you spoken here before?
Never.
Never? Jason's doing it for the first time. What caused you to do this? What caused you to jump in?
Oh, he told me I said it, so I probably don't even know what I'm doing.
Excellent. So, let me ask you a question. Do you think it's possible that anybody in the room could do what you're doing right now?
Oh, sure. Yes, you did. You did.
Just jump in. Just jump in. That's the point. Just jump in. You want to achieve your life vision? Jump in and just be a speaker next month. Well, how do I go about doing that? Well, just show up and do it. What, we're going to stop you? You got something passionate to share? You got something prepared? Then do it.
So, I don't know how my life vision applies to that. I haven't figured that out yet. But I know how Mark's doing this because he told me. So, here's what we focus on as far as the 530 grid. The triangle, golden triangle is your first 6 boxes. Or also, the 530 grid has 5 ones, which is your marketing, pre-sales, the sales, servicing, and client for life.
Jason, I think everybody has a copy of that with them
Yeah,
on the trifold.
it's actually in your trifold.
Box 11?
Box 11. So for Mark, his life vision is touching all 7 billion people in the world. So that's where he's usual on. Box 1, identifying his targets. Box 2 is how he'll develop and deliver a message. I'm not even sure how he does that, but probably through his systems and stuff that he has. Box 3 is tracking 100% of your leads. Do that in your life vision, also in your business. I personally use spreadsheets and stuff like that. Box 4 is asking key questions. Learning how to do that, asking the right questions, key questions, get people curious about you, your business, your life vision. Box 5, implement a strategic strike, which actually that goes along with grouping people and messages together. So for him, he will have them touch the whole world. So he has 7 kids, so he has 7 continents, so he just put each kid for a continent. So he grouped the kids with the continent, then he'll use a strategic strike and group those people together with a specific message to create that. I don't know. So I think that makes sense somewhat. So mine is actually, my life vision is be known around the world as a godly man who passionately loves his wife and kids and desires to help others achieve their unique God-given abilities in a fun, exciting way. So if you guys have any ideas on how I can use this for that, that'd be cool. Any questions?
So what would be the first step then, Jason, in achieving your life vision? What's box 1?
Identifying targets.
Okay, so who would your targets
So
be?
that would be, I don't know. Well, I'm dating Melissa, so I guess that would be Europe for now. Okay.
There you go.
The message? I don't know.
So how would you group that message? How would you package that message? Somebody, if you were to share with somebody, how would you go about asking a question to somebody else? Would you say, so let me ask you a question. What's the biggest challenge you're currently facing in any area of your life? Is that a question that you think would be a good opener?
Yeah. I started asking a lot of people that question.
Right? And then what are some of the responses you start to get?
Usually it's time, money, on freedom, more time with their family.
Yeah, they have so much time in the world, they have too much money, they've got so much freedom, they have nothing to do. Right.
They always want more.
They always want more. So the challenge is time, right? And so how would you go about helping them getting more time?
Systems.
Okay? Yeah. And then you could even share that, hey, listen, by the way, why would you need more time to begin with?
To
Might be
your life vision.
Okay? And that could lead them to life vision. And then would it be too hard then at that point to either email this, because it's a PDF form, isn't it? That could be emailed to somebody. Or you could just say, hey, listen, I just had an extra one in my pocket. here you go. Oh, and by the way, I've got one too. Like, if you want to, I can share it with you. If not, no big deal.
And you connect yours with their passion, some of their passions with their passion.
And then you show that you really cared. And you stepped out. Is there anybody that couldn't do that? It takes guts. But that's what it's about, isn't it? It's just stepping out. And just, and what if they say, no, I'm not interested? Oh, okay. So did you really want more time?
Probably not.
Yeah. That's okay, at least they're honest.
What you could do is you could show them the video.
Oh, gosh, Mark, that's a great idea. Say you could just forward the video to them? And that's anywhere in the world. They wouldn't have to be like here in this area. Because the worldwide internets work everywhere. I found out the other day. Isn't that interesting? We have a tremendous engine, right? We can share. Share the vision, share the truth. Any other insights into the 530 grid? Anything that you found that's been working for you? Because you started to talk about box 4, which is asking key questions, right? What are some of the key questions you said, like you're...
Asking them about their biggest challenge. Another one is if someone could help them, what would they love help on?
Right, so if somebody could help them, what would they love help on? What are some of the responses you're getting?
I guess the biggest challenge one more than I did that, so I don't remember.
That's okay. So let me just throw that out. If somebody were to ask you, right? So if you could get help in any area of your life, what would it look like? Hello. You can talk to me.
There's no expressive.
There's no expressives in the room except for Mark, and he's doing this with his mouth.
So I asked Ed this morning
Okay.
what his biggest challenge was, and
Okay.
he said getting people to listen to me.
Okay?
And I asked him what he would love help on, and he said a caring mentor who would help me with my business.
That's pretty significant.
It's pretty significant.
Do you think that would help him achieve his life vision?
I think it would.
Right? Have you asked him his life vision yet?
No, you said 5 seconds. So
That's
we
right.
ran out of it.
That's right. Good job. You're absolutely right. Go, you go, girl. You're the best. Right? But there's a lead-in right there. Right? Asking key questions. All you did was box 4 after you identified your targets. Right? Even if you skipped all the way down to 4, which would be an expressive thing to do, because we don't follow the rules. Just skip all the way down to box 4, asking key questions.
Won't that mess up the analytic then?
Would it? You're identifying your targets and ask key questions. How do you know how to develop and deliver a message or track those leads if you're not asking the right questions?
Good point.
Because when you start asking the right questions, you start finding out about their personality faster.
And how they need to be grouped, which is the box 6.
And then Jason, do you think they could go back to develop and deliver a message now?
Yeah.
1 to 4, now to 2, now to say, now we've tracked that analytic and those leads, right? We can still ask more questions, but realize that now we can implement a 10 strategic strike, because most salespeople, right? Most salespeople don't get the sale. Why? Because most sales are made after the 8th or 9th or 10th attempt. And how many, on the average, attempts does the average salespeople make?
2.
2 to 3. Huh. So that means that you're still doing all the work, but you're getting paid 20% of the time? But you're still working 100% of the time. That doesn't make sense. But if we ask key questions and we implement the strategic strength, now we have to group people and messages that are analytics, right? That are the analytics. Or we start to develop a matrix of people that are analytics, that need all the details. We have a metric now for people that are drivers. We know how to ask those key questions. And if we're helping achieve their life vision quicker, any one of these people, don't you think we're going to achieve our life vision quicker if we have a life vision?
Especially if it connects into their life vision.
And it connects into their life vision. Now you've got a profitable partner. And you have a profitable partner for life. Now you can send monthly newsletters. You can obtain B2B and B2C referrals because you're talking the same language. You're tracking all the efforts and results. You're implementing research and development, processing for new products, and applying the 5 freedom fighters. Time, talents, treasures, trust, truth, temple, and thinking. Which there's 7, so it's 5 plus 2. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting with Jason's vision, and with wife and children, those things take time.
They do take time.
And I remember my mom when I was 20, right before I got married, and she said, you know, Mark, you come from a really, hard work ethic family on both sides. I'm a little concerned that you might be a workaholic, and just remember one thing, Mark, she said, I've never met anybody on their deathbed that said they wish they spent more time working. I said, Mom, that's interesting. I said, I have a question for you. Have you ever found anybody on their deathbed that said they've spent enough time with their family? And she's like, no. I said, so what you're telling me, I think, is no matter how much time I spend with my family, it's never going to be enough. And she's like, that's not really what I was trying to teach you. And it transformed my life, because what I recognized is that I had a vision, but then I had wife and I had kids and I had all of these things, all these different priorities. And so how was I going to see success in everything that I valued? And I said, I need to come up with specific actions, like an action vision. I need to take my vision and I need to connect specific actions. And if I do that properly, then I'll be able to invest my life into something that is like a legacy, something that I will be able to put the time in with my wife and my kids and all of the other things. And so I think a lot of times we don't have a vision, so we're not clear. But once we have a vision, what that does is it's like it draws us, it pushes us to say, what actions, not the good actions, but what are the great actions in all of the different areas in my life, and to pursue that. And so Jason, he can, if he wants, he can pursue down this path. He can be a pioneer. He can try to figure out all this stuff that's there. Or he might be able to find somebody that, maybe is in their 40s or 50s or 60s and maybe has traveled that path and said, I understand your life vision, and here's some things I did right. Here's some things that maybe I didn't do so right. He could learn, from somebody else. And so why reinvent the wheel? How about connecting with other people that have traveled that same path and learn from them?
So what you're saying, if I'm getting this right, is that if he were to do something like that, he could save 20, 30 years of his life and download in, now in his 20s, what that person already knows.
Yeah. Like he could find somebody like Ed.
Right.
So he gets blessed with an amazing wife, and then he has amazing kids, and then the kids won't listen to him.
Right.
They just won't. I don't know why, but they just don't listen to parents. And so you got to have friends like Ed that'll go ahead and take maybe, one of the daughters under their hand and kind of explain life to them, because for some reason, kids don't get it. See, those are things that it's like, man, I wish I knew that.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Is that my kids would listen to like you or to Ed more than they'd want to listen to me?
What's going on there?
What is up with that?
Right.
But then what's weird is maybe, I don't know, I could be goofy on this. I could just be delusional on this. Maybe their kids or your kids might actually listen to me.
Right.
Is that possible?
It seems like it is.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's groundbreaking.
I wish I knew that when I was. Oh, I wish I knew that when I was 20.
Wish I had a time machine.
Right.
Wish I had a time machine.
Right.
But wait a sec. But Jason has that time machine.
He does.
And all he has
If
to
he
do
wants
is turn the key.
Yep.
Good job, buddy. Turn the key.